Having so much fun. Welcome everybody to another edition of Fearless Conversation. And let me tell you, when you have all sorts of technical difficulties, you become real fearless all of a sudden, right, Susan?
You have to. I don't know how many times tech is like in my way and I'm like, let's just do it. Let's just try again one more time. So what? We're good now. Third time's the charm.
Third time's the charm. We are live online. We are here at Fearless Conversations. I'm Geva Salerno. I'm the founder of Over 40 Fearless and Free, an international women's movement of over 11,000 members worldwide. You can find us on Facebook. And I'm here with Susan Tormollen, who is the founder of Camp Do It. Am I pronouncing that last name correctly, Susan?
Exactly right. Tormollen.
Some things are going right. Yes.
We're on a roll now.
So first, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself and the group, and then I'm going to introduce you to Susan. So again, I'm Geva Salerno. I am a writer living in Southwest Florida, and I believe that women over 40 can live happy, juicy, fulfilling lives. And at Over 40 Fearless and Free Women's Group, we inspire women over 40 to recognize their own value, power, and potential in order to create a life they love. So we support our members' personal growth by helping them to connect to a community of support and providing them with the training and tools necessary for growth. So tonight, my special guest is Susan Tormollen of Camp Do It. Susan is a marketing executive who has worked with some of the largest companies in the world as a marketing executive. And in that role, she helped hundreds of small businesses to thrive. And she is going to share with us some of the secrets because now she supports women over 50 in starting their own side businesses and making sure that they have the tools and knowledge they need to be super successful. So, Susan, is there anything I forgot to add in that introduction?
No, that's exactly who I am and what I do. Camp Do It helps women over 50 start side businesses, start businesses that they want to grow into full-time businesses, and also work on retirement businesses.
Excellent. So starting with your background a little bit, you grew up in California and Texas, right?
That is correct. I did.
California girl. And you worked at some of the larger businesses, larger companies. Tell us a little bit about them, the different ones that you were at. Wave was one of them.
Right. So I, before starting my own business, I worked at a company called Wave, and they have a free accounting software and invoicing software that helps small businesses. So I got to work a lot with small businesses there. And then before that, I worked at Expedia, but I was in a group that worked with small and medium businesses. And these were professional property managers. A lot of them were homegrown companies. A lot of them were just starting out. And some of them were very, very established, but were still relatively small companies. Before that, I've done some semiconductor work. I worked at Hewlett Packard. I worked at a software company that had an ad platform for small businesses. And then I started my career in advertising, actually helping Continental Airlines back in the day run ads. So yeah, I've been around the block a couple times where marketing's concerned. But the best part of my job was always working directly with the customers. And as the head of marketing in the last few roles, it means understanding their business inside and out. So I really was excited by the enthusiasm small business owners had. I was excited by the empowerment I think they felt by building something that was their own. And I really admired them. So I've been plotting since I was 10 all the different small businesses I was going to have forever and ever and ever. And they spanned everything from vacation businesses to salsa companies to, I don't know, all kinds of stuff. And so finally I decided to do it myself. And the reason I did that is because I started noticing some of my friends in business who were older would get laid off. And that wasn't terribly uncommon in the tech area. People get laid off, there's reorgs, things like that. But what was different was they weren't finding replacement jobs as fast. So it used to be, a head of sales got laid off from some startup company, and then 4 months later, they were in a better job at a different company. But all of a sudden, I was noticing 6 months later, 8 months later, they were announcing the positions they got, and they weren't at the same level. They were usually a level lower, or even one lower than that. I saw that with some of my friends' spouses. And so I started doing research. And what I found, which is horrifying, is that 42% of older professionals are expected to either be fired, laid off, or forced into early retirement before they're ready. And what that means is they may not make their retirement savings plans, right? Not only is that an emotional, kick you in the gut, you've worked 40 years and then all of a sudden you're out of a job and you can't find a replacement, but it has financial impact. And so that's why I really felt strongly that every professional over 50, unless they've got 10 million in the bank and they're just set, should really have a second stream of income. And it's something that they can scale up if they need to, something they can keep, at a more moderate level if they want, while they work a full-time job. And I think it just gives people a safety net that's really, really important in today's times. So I decided to do that myself.
Yeah. And so women, may be laid off or fired before they're expecting to. And this is something that you were seeing and looking at even before COVID and before the pandemic, right?
Right.
And then,
these numbers are before COVID.
Yeah. And then after the pandemic, wow, everything has been tossed up, topsy-turvy. And we've seen a lot of people get into businesses and side businesses that really, they may never have thought about it before, but they find themselves in a situation of like, I really need to do something, so I'm going to start a business. And they may not be prepared. They may not really have thought it out. They may not have the skills or the tools necessary to do it. And that's great. Sometimes you gotta leap before you're totally ready. But if there's a resource, if there is someone there that can guide you through the process of starting your business and setting it up right, my goodness, what a godsend for people and for women and for our members in the group, for sure. So this is such an amazing, wonderful thing that you're doing for people, Susan.
And let me add something to that. What's interesting is what they're calling the Great Resignation is so many people didn't look for another job through the pandemic. If they had a job and they could work remote, they were keeping it, right? Even though they may have already been looking for another job. And then they spent more time with their family. They realized, wow, I might not want to live here in Chicago. Wouldn't it be nice if I could move to Montana? And so this Great Resignation is happening where a lot of people don't necessarily need to start a business. They want to start a business because even through the worst of the pandemic, a lot of people found a different freedom, were able to reflect on what they really wanted, what wasn't working for them, what is. And so there's a lot of women starting businesses now just because they want to.
Absolutely. And one of the things I was going to ask you is, now that you're a business owner, what is the best thing about being a business owner that you've noticed? What do you love? What do you love now that you're on your own, flying free?
There's so many things that I love, but I think the biggest one is, so I am working on having 3 streams of income, because for me personally, I want to be able to balance a few different balls. That's just who I am. And so I do marketing consulting on the side. And that's actually what helps me fund Camp Do It, because Camp Do It's still growing and there's still, investments to be made. And so I do both of those. And then I have some other businesses I do on the side as well. But after doing it for 18 months, what I realized is that I feel so much more empowered and confident and secure because I know I can make my own money. I know even if I went back and got a corporate job someday, I doubt I will, but you never know what's going to be presented. It might be an interesting opportunity or who knows what. I will always know that no matter what, I can make my own money and do it completely independently of a spouse, of an employer. I no longer have to worry about other people offering me financial security. And so to me, that's been the very best thing about working for myself. And the other one is you make your schedule with what works for you. So I was doing yoga training. I'm working on becoming a certified yoga instructor. And one of the classes was from 10 to 11 on Tuesdays. That was fine. Like, it's my schedule. I can decide if I, put a client meeting there, or if I meet with one of my team members from 10 to 11, or if I don't. And there's just a lot more flexibility. I can start early in the morning. I can work late. I don't have to work late. Just that time management, that freedom of time, that ability. Just this last weekend, I went away on a 4-day weekend. Normally I would have made it a 3-day weekend, but I'm like, I can work remote and nobody, so those are it's really freedom of time, freedom of choice. I get to decide who I work with and who I don't. And this confidence. And I wish every single woman out there could feel that confidence of knowing they got it. They've got everything under control.
Yeah, so great. Can you share with us some of the considerations that women should think about before starting a business?
I think the most important thing, and you'll see it across the board, anybody who's trying to teach anybody to start a business, they always go to, what is your why? Why are you doing this business personally? And then why is this business going to solve a problem, help a person, bring joy, right? So there's the two sides of the why, the business itself and you as the founder. And it might be money, and that's fine, but you need to know, the reason I'm doing this is to make this much money, because you may structure a business differently than if one of the reasons you're doing this business is to bring beauty and joy into the world. And one of my students did that. They've been a finance person, were like wanting to poke their eyes out for years. And instead they were like, I'm a creative and I want to bring this into the world. And I'm okay if I make the same amount of money. That's not really my main why. Somebody else's why may be similar to what I was talking about: freedom of time, freedom of choice. So yeah, it's really understanding, why are you really doing it? Because, starting a business isn't easy. Once you start it, there's that, oh crap moment where you realize all the things you don't know, or you didn't think about, or you miscalculated. And that's part of life. But it's a terrible, painful moment when you realize that. And to be able to go back to your why. I'm doing this for freedom of time. I'm doing this for confidence. I'm doing this to bring joy and beauty into the world. I'm doing this to make a difference, which is what a lot of women over 50 are really wanting to do, is have meaning in the work they do. But knowing that is the most important thing. And then knowing, what is your business? What makes your business unique? Why would somebody care? What do you offer that someone else isn't going to offer? And it doesn't have to be, a trademarkable secret, but you do have to have something unique that you can talk about. So I think those are the two most important things when you start. And then the third one is realistically thinking about the money. It's super easy to get in and be romantic and to do all the best case scenarios. If I can sell this at that price and to this many people, woo, I'm fine. Do the plan B, do the what if everything goes wrong, do the what if my costs go up, what if I don't get as many customers, what if this takes me longer to launch than I think, and make sure you really understand as best as you can, how much money are you willing to invest, how much time do you have to make a profit, and do those scenarios. And really it helps to work with your accountant, your financial planner, because then you can sleep easier knowing, oh, I'm okay, I got X amount still in the bank.
Well, Share with us a little bit about Camp Do It and what it looks like on the ground, how you help these women to start their side businesses.
Sure. So what Camp Do It is it's an online course and also a community. So what we do is we walk through the step-by-step of starting a business, because I believe, just like you mentioned, there's no reason to recreate the wheel. We're all experienced, whether we're experienced by running families for a couple decades, or we're experienced by running jobs and positions and work, or a combination, or we've done community work. We have a lot of experience. And we also know at this point that to reinvent the wheel doesn't make sense. I mean, there are some basics to starting a business. There's basics in how do you validate your idea to make sure that it's a good idea and that it's going to meet your why. There are basics to how you market. And marketing's one that really gets people kind of caught up in their, just knotted up, because there's so many people talking. Oh, you should do online. Oh, you should do advertising. You should have a billboard. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And for most small businesses, you need to be smart strategically from a marketing standpoint, but you don't need to invest a lot of money, because those first customers are probably going to come through your network. So it's confidence, it's knowing what you're going to say, it's understanding the value you bring. And so there's some simple steps you can do, even if you don't know anything about marketing, to be solid and ready to go. And then there's just what I call the nuts and bolts. And this is also where people get a little nervous. Like, should I be an LLC or a solopreneur? What do I do for my taxes? How do I set up a bank account for a business? And those are totally like, here's the facts, ma'am. And by the way, go talk to your financial planner, go talk to your accountant, make sure you know where you stand as a personal position before you go into it. But there's no reason to reinvent the wheel. So that's what we offer. We have 3 different courses, or also a VIP course where you get all 3 of those courses: validation, marketing, and finance and legal. And then you also get more one-on-one, more office hours, where we really engage one-to-one. And that's where most people get the most value. But interestingly, what we found is a lot of our customers or clients or students, whatever we want to call them, already have businesses. And maybe they're adding their second business, or one student of mine had 4 businesses. And her goal was, what do I do with these? Where do I focus? Can I do an umbrella for all of them? So we're going to be introducing a new offer later in the year, a membership, so that established entrepreneurs who've been in business 1, 2, 3 years and really have a lot of those, oh, I started and now I've got questions. And it's going to be a lot more personalized. It's going to be more community based. So I'm really excited about that, because we're realizing there are 2 phases. There's the step-by-step, just get me started, and the, oh my, there's a lot here and I need to know more. So yeah, that's what we do at Camp Do It.
That's so exciting. Wow. Can you share with us maybe some stories of people that have gone through the courses and what it was like and what they're doing now, that kind of thing?
Sure. I've got a couple that come to mind. So the first one is a woman who actually joined our beta program when we just launched. I had just met her in kind of a networking group, and she told me that she had 2 goals, that she had taken an early retirement, and she was wanting to do coaching because she'd gotten her coaching certificate years ago, but really wanted to help people, wanted something more meaningful to do. And she wanted to start a nonprofit. And she wanted to have more time to spend with her family. She had grown kids. She had a couple grandkids, and she had a job that was a real high pressure, high powered job, lots of travel. She was out of town a lot. And so before she even finished the beta program, she already had 3 customers. And what she said was the beta program gave her the confidence. She learned just a couple things she was missing to feel confident to go get her customers. And then within a year, she got her, and I'm going to forget the name of it. Is it the 501c3? What makes you a nonprofit?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, she got that. So within a year of setting foot of, I want to do these things, she did them both. And she's been having a lot of fun visiting with her daughters, seeing her grandkids. So that's one person. And I think she would have done it without courses, but she wanted that little extra knowledge. There were some missing pieces and she just wanted the confidence. And then another one of our students, which I just love this, the whole time through the course, she kept kind of vacillating and what do I want to do? And is this really the kind of business I want to do? And she was looking at a writing business, a part-time writing business, and she had a lot of technical writing experience, but she wasn't in love with that. She wasn't passionate about it. And so I didn't know at the end of the course, she hadn't launched anything, and I didn't know what was going to happen. 2 months later, she launched an online art company where she's doing art, she's selling it online. So through the process, she was able to say, that's not what I want to do, but I do want to have a business. And then that surfaced, and she's doing great, and she's feeling satisfied. And so there's lots of different stories of what people do with that knowledge. But the exciting thing is that women are starting businesses. And I just read a statistic. I'm going to take a breath so that everybody can really hear this statistic because it's awesome. And that is that throughout the world, but especially in developing countries, women are introducing more new products and innovations than men. Which is very
exciting
because we earn a lot less of the businesses. We earn a lot less of the money. We get a lot less of the business when we're considered a vendor to somebody else, but we're the ones introducing new products, new services, and new innovations.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. We are going to wrap up in a couple of minutes, but I want to just maybe leave our audience here with 3 tips for starting a business.
Well, tip 1 is, once again, back to the why. Really think about, why are you doing this business? And most people are doing it for one of those reasons I mentioned. They're doing it for more freedom of time. They're doing it to make more money. And sometimes with these side businesses, it's either to supplement the income they already have. Maybe they had an unexpected expense, like taking care of elderly parents, or they haven't saved as much as they want for retirement. But it's additional money. It's also getting their toe in the water because they know when they're ready for retirement, they want to keep working. So they want some kind of business, or it's truly wanting to have more meaning in the world. Do something that they feel like makes a difference, helps more people, is personally satisfying to them, or they have a passion. So I guess those are 4 things. But really spending time thinking about why is going to take them very, very far. The second thing is, yes, you need some steps and some basics, and there are tools out there and there are resources out there that you can read, do, and know.
Okay, I'm not sure if we are frozen. We're in the middle of tip number 2. Let's see if Susan comes back here. Let's just check this out. Susan, I don't know if you are with me live. Come on back. Let's just check this out. Yeah. Susan, I don't know if you are. Well, we are just finishing up here anyway. So if you are out there and you are interested in starting your own business, your own side hustle, then consider joining Camp Do It, because Susan is an amazing resource for you, and she will help you to get that side business started and to start it in the right way, and kind of reduce the stress and anxiety of starting a new business. So you can find Susan in the groups. Her name is Susan Tormollen, and she's in Over 40 Fearless and Free, or you can find her online through Camp Do It. So thank you for joining us tonight. I know that it's been such a pleasure being with you all and having Susan here. I'm really disappointed that she had to jump off, but she's going to summarize the 3 tips and post them in the group. So that'll be great. So again, thank you so much for joining us. Consider joining Camp Do It if you'd like to start your own side hustle. And we look forward to seeing you again in Over 40 Fearless and Free. Good night, everybody.